What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday. And guys, I'm so excited. We're getting through the 2000s. We've made it all the way to 2008, and this was just a historic year in music. It was really hard to whittle down my top 5, but I think I did it. So let's get right to it. At number 5, Dancin' Till Dawn by Lenny Kravitz. This is a song that I actually, it passed me by upon its release from the Love Revolution album until I think either one or two albums later on that tour. There was a live YouTube that I saw of him performing this song with a full band, with a saxophone player and background vocalist, and it just has such an amazing groove. It is just like, I think it's one of Lenny's best songs, honestly. And it's just one of those that I think still to this day, he does it live. It's just a simple groove, but sometimes simple is the best, man. And, you know, just that you want to put your teeth out and be like, yeah, grooving, dancing along. Got to see him in concert, actually, man, how long ago was that now? I want to say 5 years ago, and sure enough, they did play this song, and they jammed the hell out of it. It was fantastic, and definitely needs to be on your list. So that's my number 5. Now at number 4... I Got Mine by the Black Keys from Attack and Release, which is just a spectacular album that these guys did. I mean, at this point, you know, no one had really heard of them yet in the grand scheme of things. They didn't really hit it big until their next album, Brothers. But man, does this album hit hard. The second track on the record, and for just two guys playing on this thing, it is just so raw and like garage rock, but it sounds huge, man. The way that Patrick Carney bashes out those drums and Dan Auerbach gets his guitar to just sound like multiple guitars in one, and it's just so bluesy and so rocking at the same time. It is brilliant, and yeah, you've got to have this on your list. So that is my number 4. Now at number 3, Viva La Vida by Coldplay. I mean, come on, man. What an album. And you got to go with this song if you're picking one track from the record. But man, the whole album is great. Of course, production by Brian Eno. The guys at kind of at their creative peak at this point. And Chris Martin just with amazing lyrics to match this bigger than life stadium anthem. It's just, you want to raise your hands and sing along that chorus. And then of course, Will Champion just beating on that timpani drum. There's nothing quite like this song. And of course, the strings take it to another level. It still stands as one of Coldplay's greatest songs. And it's so good, but even so, it may not even be in my top 5 Coldplay songs because there's so many that I love, but yeah, you gotta have this on your list for 2008, man. Just a brilliant track, and that's just my number 3. So now at number 2, Closer by Kings of Leon, off of this album that is just fantastic. I think it's really the best Kings of Leon album out there, Only by the Night. Still to this day, they haven't surpassed it. And to think that they made this just less than a year after their prior album, it is just so good. And what an opening track that has this kind of mysterious vibe to it, with this instrument that you're not really sure what it is. I didn't know until I saw live footage of Jared playing the bass with this weird foot pedal, and that's what's making the noise. And then of course Nathan coming in with those drums. I mean, just everybody does what they do best on this track, and Caleb Followill vocally throughout this whole record, like, he's never sounded better, just totally on point. But man, just, you know, the leads on this thing are brilliant. It's just one of those songs that is just a perfect nighttime driving vibe, and it just builds and grows in a brilliant way. One of the best rock songs of this decade, and that's just my number 2. So now at number 1, Let It Be Me by Ray LaMontagne. Sweet Ray. I mean, what can you say? This is probably his greatest ballad, which is really saying something because he's got a lot of amazing ballads under his belt. But, you know, from this album, Gossip in the Grain, I mean, there's so many good songs on here. But for me personally, this is the standout for many reasons. I mean, this is kind of and I've mentioned this when I did the review of that album. It's my wife and I's kind of song that, you know, early on when we were dating, we slow danced to this, and it just kind of became more than you know what the words say, where it's like, just let it be me, and when you need a friend. It's such a beautiful sentiment, and just amazing because it sounds so timeless. The guitar on here, it sounds like something that could have been recorded in the 70s. And I'll never forget, too, the first time that we saw Ray together in concert, we got there a little late. We're having trouble finding our seats. And when he went into this song at that moment, we just stopped what we were doing and went and embraced and like just, you know, held each other while he was playing our song. It's, you know, it's very personal to me, but all that aside, it is just an amazing song. Ray LaMontagne, of course, could sing the phone book. His voice is just beautiful on this song, and yeah, it's one of his best. So that is my top 5, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you're so bold, leave me a top 10, because as I said, I mean, what a year in music. Ray LaMontagne, Kings of Leon, Coldplay, Black Keys, some of my favorite bands of all time, all coming out with amazing stuff. And yeah, so I can't wait in a couple weeks. Tune back in because I'm going to do my top 5 albums of that year. You kind of have an idea where that's going to go. But guys, we got top 5s every Friday. Album reviews, so much more. Thank you for watching. And as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.